clock. Try to make it stop before time can draw a line.
Hello everybody, this is Gristle, your host. Thank you for stopping by and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Black Citadel Coffee House. This week I will be able to talk more about the game. Last week I talked a lot about myself, but it was the first podcast, so hey, I had to get that out of the way. Let's get right into it right now. Let's talk about the news that broke from Flannum and Johansson this week in their little Twitch TV podcast thing. Dude, I was so scared about how the end game was going to turn out in this game. I was worried about it because all I knew was WoW. All I knew was raiding. Even though that wasn't the funnest stuff in the world, it was still something to do. Yes, it was a grind and everything like that. But I was looking into this before this podcast. I was looking into it and, keeping my fingers crossed and thinking, okay, they're going to come up with something. There's going to be something that we can do. They're not just going to have nothing there when we get there and go back and do the dynamic events we didn't do. They're going to have something. And as time went on and as the release date was set and everything and still nothing about the end game, I started to worry a little bit. And then boom, his podcast come out from them. Holy shit. That's all I got to say is holy shit. They were talking about Ore, which is like the end level continent or whatever, where all the main shit happens and where all these, I'm guessing they said undead guys, I can't remember, but all these undead guys are there and they're fucking pissed off that you're storming their beach. They said it's like a Normandy landing, like Navy, airships, ground troops. I'm like, holy fucking shit. And they said these dynamic events, they're the biggest ones in the game, and they all branch off into other dynamic events like a web. And they said there's none of those. Damn it, I can't think of the name. It's the hearts. There's none of those quests. There's just all dynamic events, and it's just a war zone up there, from what I'm gathering from them. And then there's these temples, these god temples there, that you're all working towards getting to the dungeon back there. I guess there's a dungeon or like an end game place that you got to get to. But there's these temples that the Orions, I believe their name is, they all control these temples. And each temple controls little statues around the island or continent or whatever you want to fucking call it. And if the Orions have control, these little statues, when you go by, hit you up with these conditions like rooting you or poisoning you and all this other shit. And it could really be a bitch, because not only is waves of shit coming at you, but these little statues are fucking you up too. So you got to take over these, you got to siege these towers and hold them, because apparently these waves never stop coming and everything. And then that helps people get to that dungeon and go through it. But if you just try to go straight up through that dungeon and be like, yo, I'm here, shit, you ain't gonna get off the fucking beach, son. But anyways, the only thing I'm worried about, honestly, I mean, it sounds fucking awesome. It sounds awesome as a initial thing. But what I'm wondering is, once we get control of these temples, our server gets control of these temples or whatever, however you want to put it, will these temples constantly be under siege, or will it be easy, once we have control of them? I'm hoping it won't. I'm hoping it's really hard to keep control of these temples. I'm hoping that it's a constant thing. Like, you fucking log in one day and you're just like, yo, I'm gonna go fucking hold these temples for people or whatever. I'm hoping it's fucking hard. I know the shit scales up as more people show up in the game, so I'm hoping some mad ass waves of undead motherfuckers, Walking Dead style, comes at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that happens, because I'm just hoping that happens, because I don't want it to be like, all right, well, we got the temples, they're easy to hold, and there's really nothing to do. Because I would hate to miss that first invasion, because I'm not gonna be up there right away at 80. You know, a lot of people are gonna race to get to 80 and stuff, and I would hate to miss out on that whole Normandy scenario. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that sounds awesome. I'm sure they wouldn't overlook that part of holding the temples and just keeping them and it being easy. I'm sure they're gonna implement some shit that's gonna be a game changer while you're up in there. So, but that shit sounds awesome. Now they also said, once you hit 80, you know, I guess it was like this in Guild Wars 1. I don't know. I didn't play that game. But in Guild Wars 1, they said after you hit max level, you kept getting experience. I guess the same thing's involved here. And it's actually a really fucking cool idea on what they're doing with this. You know, hey, you know, you get 80, but yo, you still got a bar going, yo. You still got a bar going. And what happens at each time after that bar is done, you get a skill point. And you can either choose to